tech ecosystem has been growing with or without the government for some years now. Do you all agree with me, right? So let's put our hands together for ourselves. What we basically have in mind is to bring top speakers from the two industries to come and speak to us. And this event is going to be organized yearly. So please mark your calendar, mark your date, 28th of November, last Saturday, 2020. We're having another event. If you're going to be here, say yeah. Yeah. If you're not going to be in Canada, say yeah. All right. Okay. So it's very experienced we do this. So we have a whole lot of speakers that are lined up from you, from the 2D animation industries to design agency industries, to a whole aspect. So sit back, relax. We have thought-provoking topics, and I believe that you're going to have a great time. Now, and that vision why this conference was established is to bridge the gap of mentorship. Now, a lot of us came into these industries without having mentors. Do you agree with me? If you learned most of the things you learned from YouTube, let me see your hands up. So a lot of us, oh, can you say almost everybody? So a lot of us basically came into this industry self-taught. You understand? But there are people that are doing great things already. So what we want is to bridge that gap, bringing people that are doing great things in the industry. Men, I'm telling you that in the Nigerian ecosystem, there are a lot of narratives that is going on that are positives, but words are not going out there very well about our industries. And a lot of things that you hear about Nigerian youth are things that are not positive. Hence why this conference is all about. We are just defining our narratives, we are changing the narratives, and we are defining the industry that we want to be. Hence why we are having what? Drive conference. So we're bringing the gap between mentorship by bringing top people in the industry that are doing great stuff. I mean, Auto Academy are doing what we call the 3D zebra crossing. Did you see that? And as I speak to you right now, it's being launched in Port Harcourt and some other states, but in Nigeria, and that's a top innovation. That's where design thinking meets what we call what innovation. So hence why we need to have this event. So we're bringing that mentorship. So you see people to mentor, people to follow on social media that will make you become what better. Also, we have what we call a panelist session. We're going to be asking practical questions about the industry. I mean, some of us do design sometimes, and clients don't pay us where they ought to. Do you agree with me? Some of us do design sometimes, and clients use those designs. They will tell you that the design is not nice, and they later use it. Do you have that problem too? Yeah. Are you getting me? So we brought an intellectual property lawyer that will teach you and educate you how to run the business of what design. Do you get what I'm saying right now? So we are here to what meet every designer and every creative professional need. So sit back, relax. We have a comfortable environment. Like I told you earlier on, we also have lunch for you. I believe that you're going to enjoy yourself. So put your hands together one more time. And look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, welcome to Drive Conference. Thank you very much.
We have our first speaker. There's just an awesome lineup of speakers. The first speaker is Olalekan Akinyele. I'm just going to read his profile. It's very long, actually. It's not easy to achieve so much at this speaking here. Olalekan Akinyele is the founder of Dept Engineers, a creative design and innovation company focused on designing products, brands, and consumer experiences for startups and SMEs. He's worked with Noah's Communication and worked with Dept 2D Communications as a group head. He's also worked for Film Communications and Adari African Associates, Creative Director in 2014 and 16 respectively. He's worked with several brands like Paga, LG Electronics, Coast Milk, Sahara Group, a whole lot.
How you all doing? Awesome. Okay. So I think it's about time to start, right? My name is Olalekan Akinyele. Who call me like Zane. So, and that's why I wrote, hello, can you hear me? So the content of the letter actually says, Dear Nicola Fripo, that's the co-founder of Miami House School. I may not exactly know what time it is to hear from my cyrogenic chambers, but I get daily intelligence. There's one about a certain 26-year-old Nigerian by the name Babatunde Adebola that I found particularly interesting. According to the Dispatch, he won the Nigerian Young Lions competition in 2009 and represented his fatherland in the same competition at the Cannes Festival of Advertising in France. He is passionate about getting a scholarship for the copywriting portfolio program at the Miami House School in Hamburg. Has the world gone so flat that the Negro from our colonies in Africa can aspire to develop his creative faculties? Well, let's give him a slight opportunity and see how far his raw talent will take him, as ever. That got him the scholarship. And what I'm saying basically is sometimes it's all about when you want to write content. It's all about the story. Just don't go out there and just write content for the sake of writing content. You go online these days and you just see people writing all sorts of things. No beginning, no middle, no end. You can't even make any case out of it. We went to Miami High School, came back, please next slide. Even though we can't see this slide, it's very unfortunate. He went, came back, became one of the best creative directors in advertising. And when he came back, Boko Haram started with all their wahala. Please go back, yeah. And he did this also, which kind of just created, actually went viral and disrupted quite a lot of things. You know, press, they wrote quite some essays, articles about this particular book. Yes, they are Boko, blank spaces. So, Boko Haram, what does it mean? Boko Haram means, in English language, means what's it again? Western, exactly. Western education is evil. Now, what the idea behind what he just did was Boko Halal. And what does halal mean? We embrace Western education. And that's how they came up with the bookworm. You know. And the whole idea is basically to, as Boko Haram is saying, Western education is evil. They are saying Western education, we embrace Western education. And that's what has driven, you know, their communication ever since. Next slide, please. So, I mean, that leads me to here. This is some work that I did 2015, I can't remember. That has gone viral like 3 times on Twitter. First time it came out, went viral this year also. And this work we did like 2015. And basically, what were we doing? We were trying to sell Bang & Olufsen. How many of you know Bang & Olufsen? Okay, so Bang & Olufsen is one of the most expensive electronics, you know, maker in the entire world. The electronics are very expensive. Like this is a speaker, worth a lot of millions, the TV, and they wanted to launch in Abuja. So it came, how do we communicate to people in Abuja? At the time when it came was when Goodluck was leaving, Buhari was coming in. Goodluck was living with corruption. Buhari was forming the fight against corruption. And that was what led all our creatives. The first one we came with is to those, you can't see it, so I'll just read it. To those who can freely spend their billions, Bang & Olufsen now in Abuja. The second one says, if you still have a boss, a Bang & Olufsen is not for you. Next slide, please. Next slide. This one says, which of your houses deserves a Bang & Olufsen? The next one says, a Bang & Olufsen is a legacy. Not many rich people have one. Next slide. And we're very deliberate about it. We were talking to the politicians. It was clear. We're not talking to, if you say you have money in Nigeria, come and buy Bang & Olufsen. And the government will not chase you and put you. And, do you understand? We're basically making a statement with it. The next one says, you make it, and this talks to everybody in this room, including me. You make it, and make it again, and then you get the Bang & Olufsen. Then the last one, no one, and this is very true. I have an uncle who has a Bang & Olufsen in his house. He would never give it out. The Bang & Olufsen, he bought like 1990 something. He would prefer that Bang & Olufsen bought in that house than give it to somebody, because he knows how much he bought it. And that's what led to this one. No one gives a Bang & Olufsen as a gift. No one is that generous. So, I mean, you begin to see see that these communications were led by insight, insight, things that are, it's what we call human truth, and that's what actually leads to us creating these things. When the brief came, I practically saw the excitement in the copywriter's eyes. She came with like 20 lines. I couldn't even, I had too much lines that I was so excited to even express all the 20 lines. Because when something seems true, and when something seems very good, you'll be excited to actually be part of the team that wants to create such magic. Next slide, please. So, how many of you knew about the Sterling Bank GTB wars way back? That's another kind of content that actually broke through the noise, Sterling Bank did this particular one. If shooting for the moon, men become stars. And you can see the lineup of a representation of almost all the banks. You can see Access here, GT Bank. GT Bank is like you see someone in prison. You can see First Bank, someone on the elephant, and you want to go to the moon with elephant. You can see someone on a horse, that's Union Bank. And you see Sterling Bank shooting actually for you. And it became a controversy that Akon had to call Sterling Bank into order, that they needed to apologize. And they did. And they did that one also. And, can you hear me out from the back? Can you hear me? You can see how you exposed yourself. Anyway, so they came and they apologized, and even the apology itself gave Sterling Bank credence. So that, in PR they say positive or negative PR is PR anyway, So basically, Sterling Bank is there right now doing amazing stuff. Next slide, please. So for me, I just feel like, I think the owner of Sterling Bank, probably Fola Adeola, or the owners of, probably collected his wife, I don't know, because it just feels like, going against them. This is a billboard that he did when, I think it was last year, when GT Bank wanted to do their fashion week. And the line says, "Orange is so last season." I mean, that's a shade also. And they put the billboards everywhere during the week of the fashion week. See, when you're creating content, and when you're creating, materials, you have to be deliberate. And being deliberate means you have to know the time, the season, what's going on, who are you talking to. And that's going to be, one of the major things I want you guys to take out from this session. Let's go to the next slide. Next slide, please. Please, can we play this video? This is a video. That's amazing. Nobody gave a narration. Yeah, come to Lagos Fashion Week. Come to Lagos Fashion Week. It was simply a video that showed people in their imagination. And what they did was they expressed these individuals' imaginations. That's what they did throughout. And towards the end, you saw how, they came back to their senses. And there was crowd. I can watch this over and over and over. Number one, how did they pull it off? How did they make Lagos so empty? On a day, and there's no riot, no Occupy Nigeria, no, do you understand? No Agbero to say increase of money. No, so that's what I'm saying. When you have an idea, be deliberate about the execution also. You have to be deliberate about it. You just have to. Next slide, please. And what I'm going to say is basically content, really. I mean, this one, the best definition I saw online that basically can capture what content basically is. High quality, useful information. Useful. Useful information that conveys a story. Take note of that word, story. Presented in a contextually relevant manner. There has to be context to it. With the goal of soliciting an emotion on engagement. How did you feel watching that video we just saw? How did you feel really? Did it, did it stir like an emotion? That's what it is. Content can be expressed using a variety of formats, including text, Twitter, 140 characters, images, Facebook, Instagram, or a combination of both, audio, or presentations. Next slide, please. And the reason why I am very particular about story is you must understand that in anything you're writing, in anything you're doing, trying to put content out there, you are practically telling a story. Have that at the back of your mind. For people to engage with it, tell them stories. You will never go wrong telling stories. Not boring stories though. Tell good stories. Now, these are the 7 pros of storytelling that you must understand. Overcoming the monster. So basically the story of David and Goliath, which brands also use. So you see a Nike ad, and they are showing you how a fat guy is trying to slim down. That is overcoming the monster. And that is a format of storytelling. So you can write stories in that format. You can write stories talking about a rebirth. Someone goes through certain phases of his life or her life and actually brings about a rebirth. That's another format of storytelling. Quest. Someone goes on a journey from point A to point B, and something enables that person to be able to have a successful journey. That's another format. Journey and return. In Yajo, you go and you come back fulfilled. That's another form of story. I think we do that a lot in Nollywood. Rags to riches, all the promo ads, glow, buy the charge card at 200, become rich tomorrow. That's rags to riches, basically. Tragedy, we don't do that here. A lot of PSAs actually use tragedy as. There's something we call shock tactics when you just show the morbid side of life, and it basically just hits the message home, and people actually act based on that. So when you're talking about don't text and drive, you use shock tactics for stuff like that. We don't do that here though. APCON will not approve it. And the final one, which major part of my presentation is going to be about, is comedy. We do comedy a lot. I'm sure we know what comedy is. So you have the likes of Wole, you have the likes of George Tufoni, you have the likes of, all of these guys. They do comedy. And I'll tell you the reason why they do comedy. Before I actually tell you, about comedy, when you are constructing a story, you must be able to do this map, which basically talks about place, time. At what place, what happens? At what time? At certain place, at certain time, what happens? So in other words, if you want this to actually, it's stuff you can actually practice. You can have a board in your room or a cardboard. So you draw it, place, time, and use sticky notes. So you want to tell the story of Ade. A day starts at 6 o'clock in the morning. Where? What happens there? In his room. What happens? Describe it. Put it there. 7 a.m. He steps out of his house. Place. Where? In the garage. Tries to report downfall. Put it there. And just do it until you get to the end of the story. Within, let's say, 24 hours. Or it could actually be, time is relative. It can be 1 year, it can be 6 months, it can be 3 months, it can be 2 months, it can be 2 weeks, it can be 60 minutes. Whatever. It's left to you. And as you do that also, next slide please, you can also describe what happened in terms of expression to Ade. Good fortune, bad fortune, beginning, middle, end. Every story has a beginning, every story has a middle, every story has an end. So, in the beginning of Ade's story, yeah, he had money kind of, let's assume he had money. So, let's assume we want to do a story about promo. He had money, he went to Bet Nigeria, used all the money to bet, so his life went down. No, let's do it this way. Ade stole his mother's money, believing that if he goes to Bet Nigeria, he will make more money. So in his mind, let me bet with mommy's money. So that by the time I make more money, I will return mommy's money and I'll have money. So Ade stole 100,000, bet the entire 100,000. Mommy beat the hell out of him, threw him out of the house. Then he began to get sense. Then he went back to school and became a good boy, got a job, and started making good money. And he returned mommy's money with interest, and everybody's fine. Is that not an interesting story? Exactly. We all have stories. Everybody in this room. We all have stories. And when you begin to write your own story, you would know how to write other people's story. For you to be able to create content that actually breaks through the noise, you have to know these basic things. You must know your audience. Who are you telling the story to? Who are you communicating to, really? Content is you are communicating useful information to somebody. Now, who are you communicating to? You must tell a story, give value, which has to be authentic or original. Find the right partnership. I'll talk about that as we go. What is the KPI? Check performance. Now, in knowing your audience, stop writing stuff like as if you are talking to people in America. You are not talking, see, we are Nigerians here. And the unfortunate thing is, we don't know ourselves too much to even know how to write for us. We need to start understanding, in knowing your audience, know the people around you. If you want to communicate to Nigerians, who is a Nigerian? How do they behave? What is the geographical location of these people you want to actually talk to? What is their earning power? How do they get information? Is it on Twitter? Is it on Instagram? Is it on Facebook? Do they like emails? Do they like watching videos? You must know where to locate them. And once you know that, like I said, you can use any of those formats in telling that story that can draw their attention. And when you do that, because you are also telling a story, you are also sharing information, useful information. So what value are you selling, really? What's the essence of the... So sometimes you tell story and someone will just say, if you have a very, sarcastic friend, you say, so can you go to something? So what's the cocoa of all this story that you have said? So what's the cocoa? That's value. Then find the right partnerships. Next slide, so you understand what partnerships really mean. This has happened to me. My wife's cousin came to the house. I was running my business at that time. You want to connect to my internet. I didn't give her the password though. Because I have to use it for the business. The moment you put her on, that's where you know that there is Z-word somewhere. There is YouTube somewhere. And data. And you can't say, please donate money for data. You get. So it's relatable. That's what story does. When you know your audience, you know that they practically, this was fed from an insight. And that was what led to creating this kind of story. Next slide, please.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Data is life. And basically the story, I'm sure you know the story, which is stuff that married people actually encounter sometimes. In-laws, you are trying to satisfy your own mother and trying to satisfy your wife's mother at the same time. Just give them data. Please go and sort yourself out. Yeah. So instead of fighting over remote control, you take your iPad. There's data. Go and watch whatever you want to watch. You know, they say a man's peace of mind is worth more than $10 million. When a man has peace of mind, you have given him the best thing in his world. Next slide, please. And the truth is, it all boils down, like I said, comedy. See all of you laughing now. The reason why you are laughing is you are trying to forget the problems you have. That's a typical Nigerian. We are suffering a lot. So we want to forget that suffering. And that's why we are inclined towards comedy. We just want to laugh, you know. We want to laugh our sorrow away. Let's just laugh. So that at least we stay alive. Spending the time the country gets better. So these kind of things, and people are playing a lot on it. And that's why you see all these Instagram comedians coming up every now and then. Because they've seen that there's a market there. People want to laugh. People can spend their data just watching Wole Arole, what's his name? Brother Shaggy and all those people. Let's go to the next one. So in terms of giving value, now you can see, hold on, please pause. Now, hold on, pause please, pause. Okay. So now, if you follow the story, you see that the guy, because he knows that he doesn't have that much data to give, so which brings about him acting in those ways, searching people for extra devices, you know, turn his the name of his network to kill and die so that people cannot connect. You know, it's basically based on one thing. He does not have enough data. Now, in solving that problem, that's where Airtel comes in. And they say with chicken money, you can get as much data and you can share. You know? So please, let's play this one. So you see the value that they're actually trying to sell.
I'm downloading is on 95%. It's still on. Eh?
Introducing Airtel Unlimited Data Plans. Get unlimited 10 for 10,000 naira.
This guy is sold value. If you follow the story, the guy didn't have data, and they say unlimited, you can actually get unlimited. And the guy that was grumpy before is now the very nice guy, and he becomes a hero. And that's how story works. We tell relatable stories that everybody can relate with. See, when you see yourself in an ad or a piece of video or something, then that means it has connected with you already. And that's what stuff like this does. So when you are creating content, you also need to consider who you are creating it for. You're not creating it for yourself, you are creating it for people. How do these people reason? What is their way of life? Over a certain period, how do you describe that life? Then you play into each one. Now look at the next one, and you will see that it's the same guy, but now he's in another phase of his life. So please, let's play the next one. If mechanics have showed you this Lagos, you understand why Igboho is a sharp guy. Do you understand? And that's the premise here, really. And they are saying, and Airtel just found a smart way to actually connect with their product value, which is buy, be on the smart talk, and you have nothing to actually worry about. It's more like, basically they're saying, when your mechanic come and pick your car, don't worry about it, you probably just fix it. In this Lagos, do you understand? And that was what they wrote on, to tell that story. Next slide, please. So, in terms of finding the right partnership, you will now see here, and this is very true. Plus, please. You will see here that, if you have watched Yoruba movies very well growing up, you will know that Yarimbo has one thing. She knows that she can pray, especially for our children in the movies. You pray. And it is basically how our mothers are. My late mom, would call me, and she can spend 10 minutes still praying. It's very true. Do you understand? And that's the premise here. And that's why this is one of the best contents that they've actually put out there, because it is very true across, I don't know about the north, but I know it is very true across the southwest, the southeast, south. So please, let's play.
Olúwa ṣẹ́gun fún mi. Ó ṣe mo dúpẹ́. Gbogbo lẹ́lẹ̀ fi sọ gift. Mo rí ìkan tún ní.
Well, time will not permit me to share. I have a lot to share. Time will not permit me. In finding the right partnerships, you need to find the right partnerships. And there are people out there that have, some kind of value that you can leverage on. Even amongst your friends, that you can actually leverage on to actually sell the content in which you want to send. I don't know if you saw the recent series of ads that Basketball put on his page, using most of his friends. That is leveraging good partnerships. And it can take you anywhere. I mean, cumulatively, that series alone generated more than 2 million views, more than 500,000 likes. I mean, it's a lot, And that's how you begin to, if you begin to leverage these things, like, understand how we are, what engages us, then you begin to know how to create content, for the right people. So, thank you.
I was laughing. I saw you